Once upon a time, there was a kind king who ruled over a peaceful kingdom. He worked hard to care for his people, always putting their needs first. He had a wise minister who guided him and offered good advice. The king was now of marrying age, yet he cared only for his kingdom. He felt that his people were his true family. One day, the wise minister spoke with a gentle smile.
"My lord,"
he began,
"it is time for you to marry. Your people would be overjoyed to see their queen."
The king shook his head.
"I appreciate your concern,"
he replied,
"but my heart belongs to my kingdom. My people are all the family I need."
The minister nodded.
"As you wish, Your Majesty,"
he said.
"But remember, a queen could help share the burdens you carry."
The king smiled.
"Perhaps someday,"
he said.
"but for now, my duty is enough."
For many days, the king worked hard to take care of his kingdom. He always thought about what was best for his people. The minister always helped, giving the king wise advice for every decision. One day, the minister said again,
"Your Majesty, it is time for you to consider marriage. Your people would be happy, and it would bring peace to your heart."
The king nodded thoughtfully.
"Okay, I will consider it."
The minister went to the courtiers.
"The king is ready to marry. Please bring your daughters to meet him."
The courtiers were overjoyed and quickly made arrangements. The first girl entered the court, bowing gracefully.
"Your Majesty, it is an honor to meet you."
The king smiled warmly, and they spoke for a while, enjoying their conversation. After the meeting, the minister asked,
"My lord, will you marry her?"
The king shook his head gently.
"She is kind and beautiful, but she couldn't touch my heart. I cannot marry someone I do not truly feel a bond with."
The minister nodded.
"As you wish, Your Majesty."
The next day, the second girl entered, bowing gracefully with a smile.
"Your Majesty, it is an honor to stand before you."
The king listened attentively as they conversed. But once the meeting ended, the minister asked again,
"Will you marry her, Your Majesty?"
The king paused for a moment.
"She is very charming, but I do not feel at peace when I am with her." I cannot marry someone. I do not feel at ease within my heart.
The minister accepted his decision, saying,
I understand. Your Majesty.
The next day, the third girl was brought before the king. She smiled warmly and said,
Your Majesty, it's a pleasure to meet you.
They spoke for a while, but as the meeting ended, the minister asked,
And this one? Your Majesty.
The king took a deep breath.
She is graceful and kind. But once again, I do not feel the connection I seek. She couldn't touch my heart. And I refuse.
The minister bowed respectfully.
You are wise. Your Majesty. The right one will come when the time is right.
The king nodded, feeling relieved that he had stayed true to his heart. A saint lived in a nearby forest with his beautiful daughter, Mimi. He spent his days in penance and earned their living by cutting wood for house expenses. One early morning, Mimi woke up and entered the kitchen. She poured milk into a pot, started the fire with wood, and added tea leaves and sugar, stirring it gently. While the tea simmered, she whisked eggs with salt and black pepper, heated oil in a pan, and cooked soft scrambled eggs. She spread honey on bread slices, took out yogurt into a bowl, and poured tea into 2 cups. Just as she set everything on the floor, Sage walked in, freshly bathed.
Smells good.
Sage said with a smile.
Let's have breakfast.
Mimi replied warmly. They both sat down, picked up their cups of tea, and enjoyed the peaceful morning together as they ate. After breakfast, Sage went into the forest for penance. Mimi grabbed a broom and swept her small, beautiful hut. She hummed softly as she worked. She then gathered fresh flowers from the forest. She made a bouquet and placed it happily in her hut. One day, returning from the stream, Mimi spotted a little deer hurt.
Oh, my dear.
She gently picked it up. She carried it home and cleaned its wound.
You will be all right,
she said softly, applying ointment. She placed some warm milk in a bowl.
Have this.
From that day on, they became friends, and the little deer stayed with her. One day, Mimi took the deer into the forest. She plucked berries and apples, filling a basket. Back home, Mimi washed the fruits and cut them into pieces. She poured them into a pot and added water. After some time, she added sugar and simmered the mixture until it thickened. She stirred gently, watching the jam cook. Once it was ready, she carefully poured it into bottles, sealing them for later. One day, the king spoke to the minister.
Make the necessary arrangements for tomorrow. I will go hunting.
The next morning, the royal guards readied their bows and arrows, and the horses were saddled. Dressed for the hunt, the king mounted his horse. With the minister beside him, they rode into the forest, the guards following closely behind. Mimi was doing the dishes on the stream when the deer ran off.
Don't go far,
she called, but the deer ignored her. Suddenly, she heard a shout and the sound of a horse galloping. Running toward the noise, she saw the deer being chased by a man.
Don't kill my friend,
Mimi cried. The king stopped his horse. He was struck by her beauty and purity.
Okay.
He said softly.
Can you give me some water? I'm very thirsty.
Mimi nodded.
Yes. Please come.
She gently placed the deer in her lap and began walking toward her hut. The king, captivated by her sweetness, followed her. He intrigued by this girl who seemed so different. After drinking the water, the king asked,
What is your name?
My name is Mimi. I live here with my father. He is a sage who is doing penance in this forest.
Mimi said shyly. The king smiled warmly.
I am the king. Would you like to be my queen?
Mimi's face turned bright red, and in an instant, she ran inside. Moments later, the sage appeared, his eyes scanning the king. The king bowed respectfully.
I am the king. I came for a hunting trip, but I wish to speak with you.
The sage studied him for a moment.
Hunting? It is wrong to harm creatures for fun,
he said, shaking his head in disapproval. The king nodded.
I understand. I promise I will never hunt again.
The sage then asked,
Is there something else, my lord?
The king took a deep breath, then spoke.
Sir, I wish to marry your daughter.
The sage looked at him with soft eyes and smiled.
You have my blessing, son.
The king was so happy and left. On their wedding day, The king and Mimi stood before the sage. The king smiled, held Mimi's hand, and said,
I vow to love you forever.
Mimi blushed.
I promise to stand by you always.
Then they left for the palace, with guards, courtiers, and the minister following closely behind. Only a little distance away, a fearsome demon blocked their path. He roared,
Give me that daughter of Sage. I wish to eat her. Why do you wish to eat her? She is now my wife. It is my duty to protect her. Her father has been doing penance in this forest. His penance weakens my powers. I must take revenge. I will give you some other creature to satisfy your hunger. Do spare her.
the king offered. The demon agreed to it. He demanded a young man. The king promised to send a man. The royal couple arrived at their palace. The king consulted his ministers about his promise to the demon. They decided to place 1,000 gold coins at the city square, with the condition that whoever took the coins must provide a young man from their family. A poor man with 6 sons agreed to sacrifice his oldest son. The young man went to the king, and the next day, the king with the young man met the demon. The demon praised the king for keeping his word. He then told the young man,
Get ready to be eaten.
I am ready.
The young man said, tears in his eyes. Then the young man wiped off his tears and laughed. It puzzled the demon. He asked,
Young man, first you had tears in your eyes. Now you laugh. The reason?
The young man replied,
I weep for my father's cowardice, but laughed because I realized that my sacrifice may help my brothers.
The demon nodded his head and changed his mind. He spared the young man's life. Moral: courage and selflessness can change the course of fate.